Hey guys, I'm back with another Boost Rocks update, so let's get started. So I want to start with Sword and Shield. It seems like a little more exciting to me at the moment, but there are some updates for Scarlet as well. So Sword and Shield base, we're about to get to the point where there were zero sales this month. Like literally, this graph was about to have no sales if 2 more days passed. And then yesterday, one box sold. It actually sold for quite a bit. It sold for 500. So someone actually bought one of the more higher price listings down below. Probably maybe here or something. Um, but yeah, for these higher price boxes, some people, I don't know, if you're spending that much money, you kind of want to be a little picky with who you buy from because it can be worth the extra money just to save some headaches. Um, so yeah, that was a sale was finally bought for that. For Rebel Clash, the box price went up to just a few dollars, but Rebel Clash also had a sale, and it's been having sales like pretty. What rate is that? That's like 8 days. That's 9 days. I don't know. It's like 10 days. So about every 9 days, it sells one box, and the market is pretty small. The interesting thing is, it's kind of weird since the box is so old and just a few boxes. But if this one box gets sold, it suddenly goes to $400. Like there's not as big of a price jump for the next boxes. Like they're all around 400, 415, and then it goes to 500. But yeah, that's a pretty big price jump. Like based on that, like honestly, it's pretty easy for it just to go to 400 all of a sudden on TCG Player. Um, but these small markets, like the sellers, kind of like they'll be surprised if the boxes sell for plus or minus $100 sometimes. For less interesting, Darkness Ablaze, I'll just go through it. One box sold yesterday, not really a big deal. Demand's been kind of slower in general. It's picking back up a little bit. It dropped to back to 220 because someone listed a box. Vivid Voltage, yeah, demand has been pretty low, but it's been like non-existent the last couple of days, so it's definitely having a slow period. I did see a slow period like that for battle styles, or at least I thought I did. Um, Actually, no, never mind. Yeah, Battle Styles is stuck at about 185, and Vivid Voltage has its slow period right now. I mostly want to talk about Chilling Reign. Yeah, like I don't want to like call out too ahead of the time. But yeah, I've been noticing like when it costs to 327, that was a shift in the market. I felt like because it's usually like at most 325. Like that was like the really upper end of the range, and it was that price for like 5 days, and it's just been increasing every day since for the last couple of days, just very small amounts. Um, so it's now at 333, and it actually rained like the previous high was in the upper 300s. So my target price, I have to like double check like what would be the previous high, but like I'm looking around 360 is a pretty good price. But even hitting a 340 to 360, like it's definitely a shift in the market. And yesterday there were two boxes sold, so that's pretty good for it. So I'm keeping an eye out for that. Like I made like some observations of Volume Skies. Volume Skies was more extreme because it was just a little more obvious. Like there's a big jump in the prices, and so like hey, if someone just buys this one box or two boxes, it jumps a lot. So yeah, Volume Skies made its recent jump to 1360. It's still at 1360. After also hovering like not really past. I think it was also not hovering past like 1325 or 1330. Um, I mentioned yesterday there is this one cheaper box over here in a picture listing, and right now there's that one 1360 box plus these two 1375 boxes until it reaches about 1400. But even if if one box sold, it goes 1375, and then but yeah, it's been like that for a little bit, but it's finally actually starting to appreciate more. We haven't seen Evolving Skies prices like these in a while, and I went through the data yesterday to just show like yeah these are we're going back to like a month or 2 months ago basically. Fusion Strike didn't. The only other box that changed was actually none of the rest of the box changed. Astral Radiance I just put here because it's starting to get off to the end of the spreadsheet, but it's pretty much the same price as before, so I didn't highlight it. Um, and for the other boxes of Sword and Shields, Fusion Strike had two boxes yesterday. That's pretty decent. I feel like the upper floor for Fusion Strike is still about 490. It's just a lot of people signing up at 490. When it hits closer to 500, that's more of a change to me. For Brilliant Stars, no boxes sold yesterday, so it's been kind of stuck around this 290.2. It's at 292, and there's just a lot of people selling at 292, 295. Astral Radiance, one box sold yesterday, so it's having so infrequent demand. Maybe this is the start of another rise, but it's been stuck around 270 because no one's been buying. And yeah, more and more sellers are starting to take the place of 270. It was like getting close to 275, 280. I forgot what the previous high was exactly, but yeah, then it lost all momentum. And then Lost Origin, same thing. Like it's even though it's such a great box, like not all boxes will have the same rates. It's stuck around this 480 mark. A lot of people are selling at 480 right now, or about 485. The previous range was like kind of 485 or 385 or 390 to about 403, like literally 403, not like 405. I just stuck at like this really low end of 380, and yeah, one box sold yesterday. And then Silver Tempest, yeah, no activities thought yesterday. I've been like, when I talk to people, I've been hearing a lot of interest about Silver Tempest. Like, they're, hey, do you have Silver Tempest? Do you have Silver Tempest? And I was like, wait, I like Silver Tempest personally, but like when I hear that, it's just sort of like, okay, people do want to open this set. If people want to open it, then there's like two factors that like, why do they want to open it? Part of it, like, are they want to open it like forever? Because there's a really good chase card, and also like, what about now? If they open it now, then supply does decrease. So there are those two factors. Silver Tempest. Yeah. Okay. So for Scarlet Violet, so what I'm mostly seeing is that so you do see price increases, um, but I think the general trend with Scarlet Violet boxes is that a lot of the boxes are kind of stuck at their price points. But also I'm seeing the band numbers kind of not be too bad all of a sudden, and with that, like it gives like a little like optimism for like the boxes like rising pretty much. Um, like let's see how consistent that is. So Scarlet Violet kind of recovered back to 6. I'll just go through each of them. Paldea's at 7 today. Obsidian's at 5. It's kind of normal. Paradox it increased a little bit back to 11. Temporal is kind of low. It's 5. Twilight increased to about 11. Stellar increased to 9, and then Surging Sparks, it's at 20, which is one of the like higher points. So I'd say that at least about half the boxes have kind of like risen or kind of recovered, or like if they have like oscillating sort of pattern, like high, low, high, it's at the high right now. But I see a lot of sellers selling at like whatever price is right now, trying to offload boxes. But like demand is kind of like going up. That's kind of a nice sign. Like why are they all going up together? Yeah, Scarlet Violet base is still kind of stuck at 194, 195. Just a lot of people still have a lot of box there, and demand hasn't been the strongest. In like a day or two, technically, like yeah, they could be bought out. But yeah, it's at 6 today. Paldea has like it still has all those boxes for devastation. It's like so like Scarlet Violet base, it's technically possible to break out. But for Paldea, it just has like all these boxes for devastation, and a lot of other sellers have been selling around 233, so it's like a lot worse. Devastation listed 40 boxes the other day. I think it was at 28 yesterday or something. So now it's at 23, so it's making a little more momentum. Obsidian Boat King's game has been resisting it. 18 boxes, none of them have moved, and a lot of other sellers are selling around 215. Obsidian has been like, I had to like see how like there's so little progress at like 215. There's like nothing here versus the other boxes have colors. Same thing with Paldea. Paldea has like 234 over here, and it's been like very slow for like about a week. So yeah, like Paldea and Obsidian SV base, even SV base like barely moved. I feel like they've been the most stagnant kind of boxes. I'm looking to see how true that is. I guess a lot of boxes are actually around the same price. So for Paradox, yeah, 11 boxes were sold yesterday, which is a little higher than what it's been doing recently. I was surprised it's at 195. I saw like a bunch of lower price boxes being bought up over here. But yeah, after that goes to 198, so that's pretty normal price for a Paradox. Temporal, it's at 199.29. Yesterday was like 70 cents higher. Nothing too crazy over here. Yeah, as I said before, crossing 200 is hard, and at that demand rate, there's already like 10 boxes here. So, well, but still, it's doing pretty well. At least it's not really dropping much. Um, yeah, Twilight. I just keep saying this is undervalued since everything else should be like will eventually reach its price. Um, but it's about 216. Yeah, 216, and yeah, just there's a bunch of people just listing at about this 217 mark. So yeah, I want to when it breaks the 220s, that'll be a little more significant. Stellar Crown, which hasn't been moving as much, moved a little more at 9. There's just a lot of boxes. It's nowhere near like it's well no like 214 just seems like pretty far away. A lot of people are selling in this like 206 to 209 range. There's just a lot of people have Stellar Crown. They finally offload their boxes. Um, yeah, it just seems like demand has just trickled down recently, because especially all the new sets out. And then Surging Sparks. Yeah, there was a slow period from like March 26th to let's say April 3rd or something, and there's been like 3 days in a row or almost in a row with about 20 boxes sold. So Surging Sparks, back up to almost 260. It just always seems to bounce back. All right, that's it for today's video. Thanks, guys. Bye.